This is a Fonzie Studio podcast.
Happy Pun Day. Caution, excessive eye rolling ahead. Brace yourself for this week's pun with Jay Idle.
Long ago, in the city of Baghdad, there was a very popular sultan. The people loved him, and he was very good to the people. But despite his popularity, he was in for a big change. You see, they were doing some road construction, and while they were doing some digging, they came upon this box. And when they opened the box, inside there was a set of false teeth and a note that said whoever could wear these teeth was the true Sultan of Baghdad. Well, sure, the Sultan had been popular, but hey, he wasn't official because he wasn't wearing these false teeth. Well, the only thing to do was to try them on. The problem was the Sultan had all of his teeth. So he made a quick stop at the dentist's office and they ripped them all out. It was excruciating, but it needed to be done. It was the only way he could go put on these false teeth and prove to everyone that he was the true Sultan. Well, after having his teeth removed, he went to the spot where these false teeth were and he reached over to pick them up and bam! They snapped shut on his fingers and bit him. And yo! Well, suddenly everybody was aware that this guy was not the true Sultan, and word spread through the village that he needed to be dethroned and replaced by the wearer of these false teeth. People lined up, came from all over the city to try on these false teeth, but everyone who reached for them, snap, it would bite their fingers, and it was a really painful experience for everybody who tried, and everybody tried. It took about a week, but eventually every man, woman, and child in the village has tried to put on these false teeth, only to be bit by them. Well, the people decided, if nobody can wear these false teeth, then we'll just keep the guy we've got. And that's the way things went on until one day where there was a cow who was over grazing near these false teeth, and she went over and sniffed at him, and snap, those false teeth hopped right into the cow's mouth. And somebody saw this and went, oh my, the cow is the true king. Huh. So they took the cow to the palace, introduced her to the previous sultan, and said, yeah, you got to get out of here, pal, because she is the new sultan. He was shocked. Replaced by a cow? But that's the way it was, because that was what the rules stated. So away he went, and this cow became the sultan. Well, the cow had been there for, a couple of weeks, and the cow hadn't really done much. It ate hay, it drank water. The end. And people began to speculate, something is wrong here. We got to get rid of this cow and bring in the other guy again. But just then, there was a problem brewing in the north, and they brought this problem to the cow. And they said, all right, Sultan, this is really going to determine whether or not you maintain your position as the Sultan. There's the women up in the north, and they're refusing to wear the traditional clothing. What should they wear? And the cow looked at them and said, moo, moo. And so it was settled. The women in the north began wearing muumuus, and everybody was happy and began to think, all right, this cow is spot on. She's all right. Well, this didn't last much longer because you see, the neighboring villages and kingdoms, they weren't so keen on this cow being in charge. They thought, we can easily go in there and wipe out Baghdad. And that's what they tried to do. The Phoenicians went in there ready for battle, and the people of Baghdad begged the cow to come to the field and say something or do something to drive away the Phoenicians so they could live in peace. Well, the cow appeared, and the Phoenician leaders looked at him, and the cow said, moo. Well, that was not the right thing to say. Ooh, boy, was that a terrible thing to say. Because in their language, it translated to something very offensive. And they became enraged, and they began a siege on Baghdad, which went on for a long, long time, months and months and months of battle before they were able to drive the Phoenicians out. And then they all turned to the cow and said, yeah, you cannot be the Sultan anymore. This is not working out. So they brought in the guy that was there before, and everybody was happy, and he was happy, but he was a very respectful sultan, and he knew that this cow had been through a lot, so rather than just sending it away, he allowed the cow to remain in the palace, and that's where it lived out the rest of its life. But the interesting thing is, the cow never spoke again. Never. Which just goes to show that no moose is good moose. Oh, yeah. I love that one. Again, that is not an original pun, but I appreciate that somebody created it. I enjoyed hearing it, and I loved telling it. Thank you, Heather Lozert, for the fantastic introduction. John Hollis at the JHB Band. Wonderful tune for the intro and outro. God, man, it's good stuff. Have a happy pun day, and I'll see you next week. All right, that's it. How do we do, Dawa? Awesome. Phones? Excellent. Then I'll share it.
Walking down the street with his golden flowing feet, hopping and a popping while he keeps the beat. God, man, he's superhuman. God, man, yet he is down, he hang around. He don't need spleef and won't judge in the least. He's your God self, like Kuan Yin. In this world of duality, we need someone we can count on. Disinformation has them hypnotized. So send your rays and set all free. Started off divine, then became human. The Mayans were right, there's a new age of brewing. There's God man, God woman. You can be like him, there ain't no sin. To open your third eye and let the light in of your Atma, like Buddha. Sensitize your mind, transcend space and time. There ain't no doubt, now we need to find our I am, our true self.